Sure, I'll do my job. Sorry for format. I'm on mobile. My sister told me I should post this story. I'm a young person working in a backroom position at a retail store. I've been working there for about a year now. My management when I started was excellent. And as a result I am very well trained. I never got written up. Am always on time. And I consistently do things well above my pay grade. I fill in for my supervisor in the back room and can run it by myself if need be. And I trained our newest supervisor in her position. If you're wondering, I didn't take the supervisor job because it required changing my shift time. I knew all the fine details and was a team trainer as well. Basically, I was a supervisor but without the pay raise. My managers moved on to greener pastures and their positions were filled by new management. The new management doesn't compare to the quality of the old management. Our store manager, I'll call her Karen, is the worst manager I've had the displeasure of working for. She loves workplace politics, acting snaky and micromanaging everything. When suggested solutions to problems, Karen would rather take a less effective route just to be the one in charge. When she messes up, instead of admitting it, Karen blames anyone but herself and makes it their responsibility to avoid looking dumb. Karen doesn't help when she's needed, rarely does her job, takes personal phone calls all day and sits in her office on her computer. She's rude, inconsiderate and incompetent. All in all, Karen is an awful boss. I tried to make peace with Karen at first, but we quickly started bumping heads and our relationship is shaky at best. We're cordial with each other, but Karen wanted me to abandon 100% of my authority while still running the back. Which couldn't happen because others come to me for direction a lot. We don't speak to each other when we don't have to. Well, Karen screwed up one day in the back. We finished with a group activity. Simply put, I had to pee. So once we were done I told my supervisor I needed a quick bathroom break and headed out to the bathroom. The second my butt touched the seat, I got called on the intercom by Karen to come to the back room. Sigh. I finished up quickly and got back to the stockroom. I was gone about 2 to 5 minutes tops. When I walked in, Karen was immediately interrogating me on where I'd been and what I was doing. I told her I'd gone to the bathroom and she continued asking. Like the answer was gonna be different. Eventually, Karen said this absolute gem to me, which she couldn't have known would change the course of our time at this company forever. Karen says, "You need to use company time more wisely. And do your job." Okay, remember how I said I was basically the backup stock supervisor at this institution? My list of self-appointed management duties was actually pretty long. Training new people, fixing damaged items, fixing packaging, training the supervisors, doing all the paperwork, delegating tasks, giving instructions to people, taking garbages out, cleaning the stockroom. The list goes on and on. When Karen said this to me, something clicked. You see where this is going. I stopped all of it. All the managerial stuff went right out the window. Do my job? Okay, I'll do my job. Not your job. Not her job. Only mine. That's what you asked, right? Direct your own team. Do your own paperwork. Train your own supervisors. 'Cause I'm just a lowly waggy. Right? Yep. My stockroom fell apart quickly. Suddenly the entire room was in disarray. New people weren't being trained. Faulty product was sold. My new supervisor had no idea what to do other than copy me, so none of the paperwork got done. Garbages stopped being taken. People in the stockroom didn't have direction. The floors were dirty, etc. I wonder why? It was a mess. And management couldn't say anything about it. because those were management's duties and not my problem. I know that Karen knew what I did, but all she could do was silently fume about it. Suck it up and actually do her job. She got pissy with me after this and tried giving me less shifts. But that didn't last. Management finally got involved with the stockroom. I've never been so satisfied with myself. All because Karen couldn't accept that I had to pee. What are you gonna do? Fire me for doing my job? LMAO. Edit. My first gold. Thank you all so much for the awards and nice replies. With all the open positions right now, I'm always surprised when managers suck at keeping staff happy when they are internally motivated to do a good job. I'd like to make a poster that says, "All you have to do is be a decent human being." Good for you. Tell management that you're not going back to doing all of the other things until you get a raise. You may not have the title, but if you are doing the work, you should be paid for it. When I was a cashier, I had a manager who also told me off for using bathroom breaks. I didn't stop going to the toilet during shift because he'd made it clear from when he first took me on that he didn't like me. Usual sexist remarks and telling me to smile more, something he never said to male employees. I got along really well with the regulars. Pulled my weight every shift. He made me do a fair few things that weren't really my job, which I shouldn't really have been doing due to my disability anyway. But I got on with it as it was getting me through school. Got accepted to university. Spent a year coming back at weekends for shifts. My regular hours BC school. And eventually transferred to the store in the same city as my university. Got on with my life. Loved my new colleagues. All was well. Icing on the cake is when I popped into my old store with my mum one Christmas break. Had a little chat and got told that the manager got caught stealing from the store after he'd hired his nephew, who was fired for stealing from the tills. I haven't heard specifics, but despite him stealing thousands of pounds, the company didn't report him to the police and just fired him. Apparently he had to be escorted from the store though. He wasn't exactly well liked, so I'm sure it made everyone's year. Certainly made it all worth it for me. Just do my job, and no other? Great. But you're in for a surprise. Another story about poor corporate training. Instead of continuing making you want to wear several hats and keep the store running well, her training tells her putting into your place was the way to go. She had no idea how to get back to you lightening her load. How do they train these people? Bad, untrained managers don't really know how to be leaders. So instead, they treat their job like a traffic cop, as if they exist to look for what people have done wrong and write tickets. It's probably the first sign of somebody who isn't ready or shouldn't be in leadership. To take it a step further and unrelated to op, but this gets even more tricky in technical leadership, where even good managers in other environments can completely fall apart. That's because in technical leadership you're usually the dumbest person in the room when it comes to actually doing the work. And that's how it should be. Managers at that point are chosen for managerial skills. The best programmers or technical people should be the ones doing productive work. And you might even have cases where line workers make more money than managers. Bad managers can't stand any of this, because their idea of leadership is giving orders and for other people to follow them, and for them to be on top and subordinates to be on the bottom, i.e., making less pay and just doing what the manager tells them. I've had more than a few managers come from good backgrounds but couldn't handle technical management because they couldn't handle needing to listen to their underlings on how to get work done and realize they're mostly there to think creatively how to align the needed work with the company goals or direction. Giant red flag is any manager who thinks policing bathroom breaks is part of their job. Well, you certainly pissed on her parade. My manager is just like your Karen. Scarily similar. Good story. But then, now what? What penalties did Karen suffer? Is this the current status? If so, craving a follow-up. I guess she was pissed that everything went down the toilet. Please don't do more than you're paid to. They should compensate you for doing more than you're paid to. Too many places take advantage of people, especially young people. Anti-work. Being a good manager is about taking care of your people like a shepherd watching over a flock. Being fair, not arbitrary, and empowering them to make good decisions based on common sense. You have to help them fade the heat from upper management. The golden rule always applies. I've worked retail stockroom before. There's so much going on. If your backroom crew is working like a well-oiled machine, you leave them to their devices. They know what they are doing. Also, lowering your hours for no reason is illegal retaliation. Good ol' manglement. Such an exemplary fuck around and find out. Working to contract is a worker rights tactic to sway management popularized by unions. I'm impressed that you discovered it on your own. Maybe you have a future in union organizing. Gotta love people who want power without responsibility. Good for you. Good story, and very well written. Thanks for sharing your MC. OMG, that's awesome. Keep doing it. My buddy is a retail manager. Based on the conversations I have with him, I suspect new or crappy managers get given stores where things are going well to give them a chance to learn, while guys like him get given stores in tough shape in order to turn them around. Either that or they get promoted to regional manager and further away from the goods and customers.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.